Hi there. So, this is a video to walk you through something called varsity learning. And varsity is something that we're going to use a lot in this classroom. It is an online program that I use in my classroom for problem sets, homework, quizzes, and tests. And you will have plenty of time to use it in the classroom. You guys will all have access to computers, your own, every single day. You're expected to bring those charged with you every single day. And we're going to be utilizing this so you'll have immediate feedback if something is right or wrong. And then you can ask some questions if you've got some problems. So, what I really like about this is I set these up so that you have 4 attempts on each problem, even on a test or a quiz. And if you don't get something right on a homework after 4 attempts, you can just attempt a new problem and try another one and have 4 more attempts to still get something right. So you can always get 100% on your homework if you try hard enough. Now, on a test or a quiz, you will still have 4 attempts, but only 4 attempts on a problem. And what will happen is you will lose 10% of your credit for each incorrect attempt. So you'll see how that will happen as we get familiar with this program. So what I want to do is show you the process to get signed in. There will be a paper that I'll hand out that'll have these codes and keys, or it might just be posted in classroom. But here's what we're going to do. You're going to go to www.varsitylearning.com. And when you go to that website, it is going to look like this. There's going to be this girl holding some books, and it's going to ask, there's a red and a blue button for a student or an instructor sign up, and you're going to hit a student sign up. And when you do, it will take you to a screen that looks like this. Now, when you utilize that, your first and last name are fairly straightforward. I'm going to show you what to put in for your email and password. So just clicking back here, I'm going to go to a new screen. And when you put in your first and last name, please be case appropriate. First name, mine would be Heather, put in a capital H. Don't just use all lowercase. Last name. Also, if you have a preferred name, use that. So I had a student last year who her name was Chloe. She went by Max. If that's you, feel free to put that in. I had a kid one time, his name was Robert. He went by Taylor. So, whatever. You can put whatever you'd like in here. If you have a nickname or something, you can put whatever you like, but make sure they're case appropriate. So, last name. Okay, and then it had, let me go back real quick. It had email and password. So, you're going to use your school email, which is your first name dot last name at student dot rgdrag.org. Make sure you use org, not com, not edu, not anything else. So mine would look like heather.christie at student.rgdrag.org. Okay, that's what you're going to use for your email. Your first name dot last name at student.rgdrag.org. And then your password is your first initial of your first name, capitalized. Okay, so first initial of your first name, capitalized. This is also going to be your login password for your computers, which you should already have, so you should know what these are. And then your first initial of your last name, lowercase. And then your 6-digit lunch pin. So I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you don't have your lunch pin, this is also the last 6 digits of your student number. Which is on your schedule. Okay, so I want to make sure you use the correct email and the password so that we always know what they are. And if you want to have your computer save them, that's handy for you. Okay, and once you click the OK button or the enroll button, let me go see what that is, a sign up button. Okay, this guy right here, that sign up button. Then on your screen, you're going to get a message that in green, it's going to say sign up complete. Okay, and it will also say you're now ready to log in and enroll in a course. Make sure you have a course ID provided by your instructor, and there's a blue button that says log in now. Go ahead and hit that button, and then you'll get to the normal login screen for Varsity. Let me show you what that looks like. That's going to look like this guy. Okay, so you're going to use your email to log in and then your password. And then when you guys log in, you're going to get a screen that is going to be blank, and it's going to say up here, enroll in a course. And it's going to say course ID. And there's going to be a box there. And then it's going to say enrollment key. Enrollment key. And another box, and that one's a long box. Well, they're both the same size boxes, but the course ID is short, the enrollment key is long. So here's the deal. If you are in my Algebra 3 class, your course ID is 3001, and the enrollment key is 35989 45561. Okay? If you are in my Algebra 2 class, your course ID is 2998, and your enrollment key is 39587. Oops, 39587 59727. Okay, so you need to put those both in. And then once you do that, let me show you what your screen's going to look like. So I'm going to leave this screen. Once you log in and put your login, your course ID, and your enrollment key, you'll see a screen like this, but you'll only see this left-hand side right here. And you should see either Algebra 3 or Algebra 2, depending on what course you just signed into. Okay? Now, from there, and I don't want you to actually do this on yours, I just want you to kind of follow along a little bit. Let me show you how this is going to work. So I'll go into the Algebra 2 class, And I do want you to take a minute to read through this Welcome to Varsity Learning, okay? This is going to show up all the time. It says it's going to be used in my classroom for homework, quizzes, and tests, including midterm and final exams. Oh, look at that typo right off the bat. There's an equal sign in there. Here are some important things to do to help you maximize varsity. There will be colored blocks in the calendar below. Those are due dates for assignments. And you can see right now when I'm doing this video, this is in May, and on May 25th, there's a gray block for the exam. Though they have to be colored, not gray. If they're grayed out, they're not active. And so you want to see a colored block for a due date. Okay, if I were to click on that exam, it gives you information down here in the calendar, and it tells you when it's due that day. And there's some other information that I have as the teacher. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take you into an assignment and just kind of show you around an assignment and how that works. But let's go back up to these bullet points up here. When an assignment closes, it closes, and you can no longer improve your current grade or score, period. Those deadlines are usually Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. When it closes, it goes into what's called a review mode. And after it closes, it will not save your score any longer. So let's say there's 20 problems and you've only done 12, it will save your 12, but even if you do more after that, it won't save your score. It will only save the 12. Every student is being assigned 12 late passes for the year. That's 3 per quarter, okay? You can use them whenever you want. You can use all 12 in the first quarter, but then you don't get any more. So use them wisely. A late pass will extend the deadline of a homework by 72 hours, but it needs to be used before the original deadline is reached. You don't need my permission to use a late pass, and a late pass may not be used for a chapter review or a chapter test. So it's only on homework that you can use those, okay? Most assignments have a close date of Sunday night at 11:59 p.m., the week in which they are assigned. And then it talks about some information down here about what a learning management system is. And then down here, important, if you need my assistance, remember that you can always message me through Varsity. You can message me through here. On Remind, which we're going to talk about, that is the most preferred method. And you can also email me, and here's my email address. Okay, so let's talk about how this actually works. So you can click on a block in the calendar. You can see it pop up underneath the calendar, and you could click on the assignment here. You can also, you guys will see these folders down below. I'll open them up as we go. You can open a folder, and then you can open an assignment. So I'm going to do that here. I'm going to open the first assignment in Algebra 2 as an order of operations review. Okay. And I'm just going to go to the teacher preview and show you what it looks like. So we're just going to hit teacher preview. And here it says, be sure to write each question on a separate sheet of paper. I will be asking you to submit these in Google Classroom. This will be checked for a completion grade. The correctness on Varsity isn't due until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. All right, so you type the answers in here. There oftentimes question 1 is a vocab question, okay? But I'm going to skip down to here. So simplify the following expression. 4b minus b. Well, 4b minus 1b is a 3b. So I need a keyboard, which I do not have attached here. Let's see. I'm just going to attach a keyboard real fast, show you how this is going to work if we type in an answer. So I'm going to type in, my keyboard's not working. Perfect. There we go. Okay. So if I type in a 3 and then I use the variable a b on the keyboard, notice they also have one in this equation editor here. I don't really need it, but I can. And then you can either use your enter key on your keyboard, or you can hit submit the question. You can click out of it. That'll get rid of that guy. You can submit the question. And when you submit it, it'll turn it green and give you a green check mark. Okay. If you get a question wrong, it will not do that. So let's see what happens when we get one wrong. We have 7a, that's the only a in the question. So I'm going to go 7a. And then I have a negative 8b minus a 7b. Well, that's a negative 15b. But I want to get this wrong. So I'm going to go minus 13b. And I'm going to just hit enter and have it graded. Okay, so now it's red. And it says I have, I can get another question, blah, 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 blah. So you have 4 tries. So notice right up here on this question, it says I have 0 out of 1 points. I have 3 more tries out of 99. So let's get it right this time. We'll see what's going to happen. We'll get it right. Okay, so now it gives me the full point that I earned because I got it right, even though it wasn't on the first try. Okay. Let's skip down here. So this one, fractions, important to note. There's a equation editor if you need it. 6 and 1/3, you cannot put the number 6 and 1/3. You need to actually put improper or proper fractions in here. So if I go 6 plus 1/3 and turn that into an improper fraction, that's 19/3. So I'm going to click on this little fraction and go 19 over 3x. So that's me combining like terms. I need that out next to it. Minus 1. All right, but I want to get this wrong 4 times in a row, just so you see what happens. So I'm just going to get the 1 wrong and go minus 2. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, and then I'm going to hit enter again because I want to get it wrong. So I'm going to just change that to minus 3 because I still think I'm right. Oh, it didn't let me do that. Backspace. We'll change it to minus 3. I still got it wrong. Now notice right up here, this is telling me how many attempts I have, right? I have 2 more attempts. So I'm going to change this to minus 4. Tells me I have 1 more attempt and then minus 6. Oh, minus 46. Okay, so I got no points and I have no more attempts. But what I can do is you can use this button right here that says get a similar question. So I have no points, but I can hit this button, get a similar question. Now it's very similar. I still have a whole number and a fraction and a number without a fraction. So 4 and 1/4. Let's see, 4 plus 1/4. You guys will need calculators in my room. And after COVID, we started having people bring their own, so we don't have to have them sanitize them and do all that good fun stuff. All right, so that's 17/4. So I'm going to get my little fraction button again. Fraction 17. You can use the down arrow and go down to the 4, over, make an X. And I'm going to go plus 2. Oops, that was supposed to be a plus sign. Plus 2. All right, now it says I have a syntax error. Oh, it went away. Enter another 4. All right, we're just going to hit enter here. All right, so I did the math on my second attempt. Now notice up here, I have full credit on this question. I got a 1 out of 1, even though it wasn't the original question that they gave me. So if you guys are willing to do these questions more than one time, it's very, very possible for you to get full credit on these. Also, let's jump down to this question number 7 right here. There's a super useful online calculator that I'm very okay with you using. I'm going to write it down in the notes down here. It's called Desmos.com. And you want the scientific calculator. I'll go show you how to use it. It's very straightforward. And so I'm going to pull out my little stand here on my laptop. All right, we're going to go back to the internet, and I'm going to bring up another tab up here, and I have a link for Desmos, but it's desmos.com. And if you bring up the actual desmos.com site, right here under Math Tools, if you hit that down arrow, you'll see the scientific calculator. Okay, they have a graphing calculator, which is very awesome too. So The question that I'm looking at down here is this question right here, which is -1/3 plus 1/4. So if I want to add those together, I can go -1/3, and I just type it in, move the arrow over, and then plus 1/4. It adds those together and it gives me this decimal approximation. But over here, you see this button that is a fraction button, and it says convert to fraction if you hover over it. And if I click it, it tells me that that's -1/12. So I can now go back here and put in a -1/12, go to my fraction button here, and I'm going to put the negative out front, -1/12. X, make sure you put your variable in. Oh, watch what happens to, if I put in the incorrect variable in, see over here on the right in red, it says a syntax error, check your variables. You might be using the incorrect one. So this website, Varsity, tells you, tries to warn you if you're doing something wrong like that. So I'm going to go put the X in, and that syntax error should go away. And now I have a -7 plus a 4, which is a -3. And I hit enter, it grades the problem, tells me I got it right, gives me a green check mark, and you just move on. Okay? So as you do these, I'm going to go back up to the top, because it is in review mode, it's not really going to grade anything, but you can see over here, it is keeping score as I go. 4 of 18 are answered, and then it will just submit that score to me. Okay? So that's how we're going to use Varsity in the classroom. I think that pretty much goes over how to do that. Okay? So that's Varsity in a nutshell. I hope that helps. Toodaloo for now.